You find yourself standing at the edge of the Svalich woods. The gnarled trees, ancient and twisted, press in around you. The mist thickens and the scent of decay lingers in the air. As you step foot into the land of Barovia, you hear the sound of a wolf's howl in the distance. What do you do?
Barovia, eh? Alright, before we get too deep into this, do I smell any bratwurst or sauerkraut? Do I see any chicks in those little, dirndl dresses?
That's Bavaria, you knuckle-dragging moron. Anyway, this is a gothic romance, right? Can I make a perception check to see if there's any romanceable NPCs around, preferably of the tall, dark, and brooding variety?
It's definitely gothic, but it isn't really
The mists are a manifestation of Strahd's will, so any perception checks are going to be useless until we deal with his influence. Now, did everybody stock up on silver weapons like I suggested?
Why do you have a laptop at the table?
Because I bought it at Costco and brought it here.
That's not what I meant, and you know it.
Yeah, I know. Now, I've got a spreadsheet here that lists the most efficient loadout for all of the undead encounters in this kind of environment.
Okay, wait a minute. What do you mean you have a spreadsheet?
Hey, you said prepare yourself for Curse of Strahd, so that's what I did. That was a good impression. You did say that, though.
Those are words that came out of your pie hole. And speaking of pie, can we find any around here? I am starving.
Later that night.
The undead forces have surrounded the Burgomaster's mansion. You, Ismark, and Irina are desperately trying to hold the door shut. Ismark turns to you and yells, "We can't hold them off for much longer. Do something."
I pushed the table against the door.
Make an athletics check.
Oh, crap. That's a 4.
You push at the heavy oak table, but it doesn't move. Decayed hands begin to break through the doors and windows. But all of a sudden, they stop, and the world goes silent. Irina turns to you and says, "Strahd is near. We're doomed."
Sounds like we're ending a campaign early here, because Spectacles over here couldn't push a table.
The air grows cold, and a voice echoes throughout the mansion. "Irina, my dear, your fate is sealed. Come, join me."
I look through a crack in the barricaded window. What do I see?
Outside is a tall man with pale skin, dark hair, and piercing red eyes. He wears fine, dark clothing and has an air of ancient nobility about him. You're looking at the Lord of the Land, Strahd von Zarovich. He grins at you, and you can see the gleam of his long, sharp fangs.
I can fix him. I so use Irina as bait to draw him inside and spring a trap.
Are you trying to do a speed run? Cut it out and enjoy the
Barovian.
Whatever. Okay, look, just try to enjoy the atmosphere and let's protect our NPC, okay?
Absolutely, that is the best idea anybody has had all session.
Although,
What now?
before we make any big decisions, I want to get something straight. Is Irina hot? Like on a scale of 1 to 10?
That's hardly relevant here. Look, Strahd is...
No, seriously. If we're supposed to protect her, I need to know if it's worth it. So, what's the verdict?
I'm telling you, we don't need to fight him. Just think of the tragic romance potential. I could turn him away from the darkness. Oh, while you're busy daydreaming, I will design a trap for Strahd.
So help me God, I will beat you with that laptop.
So, about Irina.
Irina's fine, I guess. She's fine. Look, Strahd is...
Hugh Jackman in a black cape.
Alright, I guess I'll keep Irina safe, but only because she's kind of foxy.
How valiant of you. Just what Barovia needs.
One debt to society later.
You step into the dimly lit tent of Madame Eva. The air is thick with incense, and the shadows on the walls dance as the candles flicker. The old woman turns to you as she shuffles the cards. Come in, come in. The cards will tell your fortune, if you dare listen.
Cards, huh? Alright, what's your game, old lady? Texas Hold'em, Blackjack, Skip Bo.
Ooh, a tarot reading. Maybe the cards will show me the way to a dark and mysterious stranger.
Madame Ava's hands move deftly as she shuffles the deck, and then draws the first card. She looks at you and says, "This card tells of a symbol of protection and good. You shall seek it in the house of a saint."
All right, well, that sounds like the Abbey of St. Markovia.
What are you...
Ooh, a saint's house. There's definitely a tragic backstory there somewhere. Okay, what's next, Madam Ava?
Madam Ava draws the second card. "This card tells of the devil's own journal. Seek it in a drowned village guarded by an evil witch."
Let's see, that'll be Berez. Well, that's stop number 2. We're getting there.
A book? Come on. I came here to kill things and eat schnitzel, not read the Vampire Diaries.
Madam Ava draws a third card. "This card tells of a sword of sunlight. Seek it in the fallen house of a dragon guarded by a madman."
A madman and a dragon? Oh my gosh, this is straight out of a gothic novel. I bet he has a tragic backstory too.
Well, that would be Argen Vastold.
Gesundheit.
Madam Ava draws another card. "This tells you of where to find your foe. Seek him where his heart once beat. He will be waiting for you in the depths of his sanctuary."
Hey,
The damn map. Why do you even have this?
you told us to prepare. An adventurer always has a map.
Yeah, I've got mine.
I know I came prepared.
That's a takeout menu for a German restaurant.
So it is.
Are you guys serious? You know what? There is one more card left for your fated ally. Let's see here. Oh look, it's the Dark Lord card. No ally for you guys. Happy?
No ally?
Oh, well, wonderful. Now we have to go through the whole game without a meat shield.
The cards have spoken. You're on your own. But you know what? At least y'all have maps.
Hey, speaking of meat, is anybody in the mood for bratwurst and beer?
Montage.
The windmill is leaning and ragged, and inside you can hear the cackling of several old women.
Seems like a good place to stop and get some grub.
You come upon a wolf-shaped cave entrance.
Come on, a gang of furries lives here, don't they?
The druids stand in the grove chanting before the wooden effigy of Strahd.
What is this, Burning Man?
Welcome to Argenvostold.
Bless you.
The winery appears to be surrounded by hostile vine blights.
I cast level 3 Weed Be Gone.
Only the gifts of evil await you in the Ember Temple.
How many of these gifts can we have at one time?
Strahd stands amidst the flames of Valaki and tosses Father Lucian's head at your feet.
Take me with you. I can make you better.
Many months later.
After defeating Strahd, oddly with a combination of Rubber Duck and Colander, you have finally driven him in his mist form down into his sanctuary. You now enter his crypt, where he lays motionless and vulnerable in his coffin. Irina turns to all of you and says, "It's now or never. It's time to end this. Drive a stake into his heart."
Wait, I still believe there's good in him. I cannot let you harm this tall, dark, brooding drink of undead water. I throw myself over the coffin, protecting him.
You lay over top of Strahd's coffin, putting yourself between him and any killing blow. You're so close to him now that you can see yourself in all the facets of his big ruby necklace.
Hang on, he wears a big ruby necklace with that outfit? That's a bit gaudy. Okay, I get up off the coffin, you guys can have him.
This dead man lives in a castle on top of a cliff with a harem of vampire brides, and the necklace is where you draw the line?
Okay, look, unlike him, I have standards.
Anyway, Irina turns to you all and urges you to put a stake through the monster's heart, now.
All right, you were in charge of packing the stakes, so hand one over.
Hey, you got it. All right, I open up my pack and I ask, do you want T-bone or ribeye? I said...
Oh, we heard what you said.
We needed wooden stakes to kill Strahd.
Not food.
What? I just thought you guys wanted a nice meal after taking down the big bad.
Oh yeah, because nothing says victory like an overcooked piece of meat.
You're an overcooked piece of meat.
Okay, you know what? We've been at this for ages, and I'm done. So is Irina. She strides forward and pulls a stake out of her ass that she's apparently had there for the last 40 sessions and rams it through Strahd's chest. The mists swirl violently for a few seconds before dissipating. Strahd crumbles into dust, and the sun comes out. His reign of terror is at an end, and the game is finally over. The end.
I wanted to do that. That bitch took my job.
Well, then maybe you should have been focused more on bringing wooden stakes instead of edible ones.
Well, so much for that poetic ending that wraps up all of our backstories into one cinematic montage.
I have to admit, I admire Irina's efficiency and her inventory management capabilities. So, what's next?
Oh, a stiff drink and maybe a round of hard drugs, but I think I'll probably just settle for a different adventure module.
Well, I hope the next villain has better fashion sense.
Oh yeah, 'cause that was the problem.